Hello everyone, this is Verdict from the Classic Pally, and in this video I'll cover the top 10 items that you as a ret would like to get in Blackwing Clair or Phase 3. Before I start, a few disclaimers. If you are or not familiar with ret in general, this list is for AP Crit ret exclusively, not Spelden or Hybrid ret. These playstyles deserve videos on their own and from people who are more familiar with them. Now, as PvP sets were out with Phase 2.5, they will indeed have their own section in this video. However, this video is about items that are not obtainable due to them simply not being released yet. So, let's start. Number 10. Judgment Set. One can't simply make a list for Blackwing Clair loot without including one of the most iconic sets ever made in an MMORPG, not just WoW. Judgment after its rework is not bad at all, and it has its qualities for Spelden and Hybrid ret. However, for AP Crit ret, it's awful. But I am simply paying homage to it and its iconic design. Number 9. Nightfall. Whenever you want to play a ret in Classic WoW, you're most often being mocked and you'd feel powerless towards finding a raid spot. However, fret not, my friend, for Nightfall is the key. If you're in love with the Paladin for its support qualities, then this weapon is most likely for you. You'd win the hearts of your casters with this, respected by your officers and your guildmaster, and who knows, perhaps warriors would start to look at you with respect and most likely find value in you. Number 8. Forest Stalker Bracers or Berserker Bracers. Introduced with Warsong Gulch Exalted gear, which will be out with Phase 3, these two bad boys are indeed amazing to have. I personally use Forest Stalker Bracers because I'm a sucker for crit, but both of these are absolutely fine. On another note, think of Warsong Gulch Exalted, however, not just for these bracers, but for the Epic Paladin Pants too, that would most likely come with Phase 5 or Phase 6, and they are absolutely savage to have. Number 7. Cloak of Draconic Might. This is the first out of many upgrades that you'll find in Blackwing Clair, replacing Cape of the Black Baron from Strath All Undead, and the most convenient part of it is that it drops from trash mobs. It is contested by rogues and warriors, but as far as I'm aware, the drop of it is not bad at all, and you should be getting it in absolutely no time. Number 6. Circle of Applied Force. Dropped from Flamegore, this ring is awesome for us, especially if you're a human paladin. It replaces Don Julio's ban from Alterac Valley Exalted once you start overcapping your hit, and it's heavily contested by rogues, but I'd most definitely go for that. If you're a dwarf player, however, you'd most likely never want to get this. Number 5. Chromatic Boots. Dropped from Chromagus in Blackwing Clair, this piece of loot is one of the most contested warrior pieces in the game. I personally would advise you to stay away from them for a while, let the warriors take their turns since this is a fair replacement in Bloodmeld boots. Once you start getting almost full bis, sure you can contest them, but until then I would strongly advise you to lay low. Number 4. Drake Talon Pauldrons. A rare drop from each of the drakes in Blackwing Clair, these bad boys are a must to have. There has been indeed a shift of the meta of tanks lately, and I personally wouldn't be surprised if tanks would start getting these prior to DPS, since they give a lot of avoidance and insane amounts of threat per second. But in any case, you should contest these on sight. Number 3. Leggings of the Fallen Crusader. Being an exclusive drop from Pharmo and Blackwing Clair, these pants are our most requested piece of armor that we'd like to have. These simply scream ret, it's written in the stats, so if you're a warrior who would like to have these, you better back off, son. This is Paladin loot, period. Number 2. The Untamed Blade or Ashkandi. The Untamed Blade drops from Razorgore, the first boss in Blackwing Clair. This weapon is really special for paladins due to divine strength talent and Blessings of Kings buff, making it the hardest hitting weapon in the game for us while the proc is on. And that's even improved more with the Spirit of Zandalar world buff following Zul'Gurub release. And if you don't really want an Ashkandi or you don't want to grind Sulfuras, this weapon is for you and you'll keep it, well, until you want, really. Ashkandi, on the other hand, is one hell of a famous weapon. Dropping from Nefarian, the last boss, this weapon is equivalent of Sulfuras, and they are pretty much the same tier. It's primarily a choice of style, since both are almost equivalent in performance, you'd never really feel the difference. It's a pick and choose. Before we jump to number 1, I'd like to do honorable mentions. For those of you who want to know if PvP gear is any good, the short answer is, well, yes. But due to the unhealthy requirements for you to obtain that gear, I've included the PvP gear here in honorable mentions. Although the rank 10 set 2 out of 6 piece could have its uses and that rank 12 and 13 piece have nice stats, I'd personally never recommend anyone to go for them, simply because these pieces are replaced in AQ and the majority of the Blackwing Clair gear is simply better. Drakefang Talisman. Long story short, there is no need for you to ever get this as a paladin, except if you are running a Nightfall with some kinky build. A really good trinket, best endgame for some, but overall you have no reason to take this off the hands of a rogue, feral druid or a warrior. The Master Dragonslayer ring, pretty useful for dwarf paladins, but overall it's not a thing that you as a human player should get. And last but not least, Chromatic Gauntlets. If you're like me, who has cleared Molten Core almost 20 times in Classic right now and haven't seen Flame Guards a single stupid time, get these and forget about the 10 attack power. The spell crit on it could also be useful at times, especially for hybrid reds. And finally, number 1, Scrolls of Blinding Light. Flat out our best trinket in the game, you'll keep this pretty much forever, regardless of which paladin playstyle you choose, AP, hybrid, or Spelladin. To summarize the effectiveness without going into too much detail, this trinket increases the number of Seal of Command procs from 7 to 9 per minute if you use haste enchants. The math goes deep with this one, but to keep it short, this trinket is what you need to put on top of your best in slot list. Long story short, under the right circumstances, it increases the procs of Seal of Command. It introduces reds to burst damage. Tremendous DPS potential. If you are somebody who runs a guild, one way or another, and you have a Retribution Paladin in your raid, please never allow any other Paladin to get a priority over this trinket over your red pally. This is an insane damage boost. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, like, rate, subscribe and ring the bell down below if you enjoyed the content that I make. Now, I work a lot in real life, and I don't really have the amount of time that I really want to have to work the YouTube channel and to put the quantity of videos that I want, but every once in a while, in a full moon, I release a good video like this one, and I really do hope you guys enjoyed it. I really do hope the time spent on this video was, in educational purposes, fulfilled. And I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.